everybody, my name is Jane and welcome to our YouTube channel. Usually we talk about different ways of teaching English and some activities that you can use in your English classes. However, today I would like to bring up another important topic, such as how to start teaching English as a second language to adults. So we're going to find out the difference between teaching children and adults. Also, we're going to get familiar with some exercises that you can use to entertain your students. And of course, we will discuss different ways how you can build a rapport with your class. If you are ready, let's get started. And before we start, I would like to remind you that I'm recording this video for international certification. If you want to know more about us, go to our website, TEFL TESOL Most of the people become English teachers because of two possible reasons. So either they can explain complicated things in the easiest way, or they are fond of the language. And despite the fact that English seems to have a clear structure and system, a lot of people still struggle to learn it because, as we know, language acquisition takes much time, patience, and practice. That's why ESL tutors who are interested in logical approach and critical thinking prefer to work with grown-ups. It is believed that adults tend to shoulder responsibility for the results and efforts. And of course, as for teachers, it's easier to keep focus on needs and progress rather than entertaining. Don't get me wrong, your lessons always must be riveting and absorbing. However, in comparison with teaching children, you don't need to make your students study. So usually people start learning foreign languages when they have important goals to pursue. And if you have a feeling that you can help them to reach their goals, so go for it. Let's highlight the most popular reasons why adults turn to English learning. So first of all, it's a job promotion, building international relationships, and working or studying abroad. So when you understand your students' needs, you need to decide what you are a master of, because it's really difficult to be good at absolutely everything, and a lot of English teachers make their choice what they can do better than others, and it will help you to find a niche in the market and attract only motivated students. And even if you are not ready to be self-employed, you will get much more respect from language schools as long as you are focused on one thing in ESL teaching. So you can become a professional and teach general English, business one, English for specific purposes, international exam preparation, interview preparation, and even pronunciation. When you found your feature, it's a high time you chose a workplace where you would like to teach. And of course, on the one hand, teaching online gives you a bunch of advantages in terms of comfort. However, teaching overseas will help you to get unbelievable and amazing experience in your life. Anyway, whatever you choose, start searching a job and check employers' requirements. Of course, requirements may change from school to school, however, there are some common ones. Fluent English speaking, a bachelor's degree in any major, work experience, and international certification. And don't worry if you don't fit in, because there are always ways how you can become an attractive candidate. For example, professional development will help you not only to work on your language and teaching skills, but also to start filling a role. Obviously, teaching children and adults are based on different ideas. For example, children have no intention and motivation to learn foreign languages, but their parents will. And that's why, in that case, language acquisition seems to be a more entertaining process rather than learning one. But on the bright side, kids acquire new information so fast, so they don't need a logical approach in studying. They rely on feelings and images rather than memory. They know nothing about grammar, they just repeat after you, and that's why they're not afraid of making mistakes and they can speak up without hesitation. However, it's really difficult to keep young learners' attention for a long time, and that's why ESL tutors turn to some games to diversify English classes and make students interested. So there are some ways of teaching kids: flashcards, online games, popular songs and cartoons, and total physical response. And it doesn't mean that lessons for adults are boring and dull, they just need different things to engage with the language, because when people have clear goals and intention to learn a foreign language, they want to measure the results of every lesson. And it's an illusion that grown-ups don't like playing games. They do. However, a game must be prepared with a certain purpose, because as soon as people reach pre-intermediate level, we start teaching them how to discuss different topics, react on compliments or complaints. And that's the most interesting and effective skill that they are going to implement in the real life. When it comes to teaching English, the perfect knowledge of the language and fluent speech are important but not enough. The essential thing is having a good relationship with your students, and it must be your priority all the time. When you teach adults, you need to keep in mind a lot of things about each member of the group. For example, you need to remember all students' names, pay attention to their mood, and pair them up according to a common level. Also, you should use their interests to make your lessons more absorbing and provide positive but honest feedback. Encouragement is one of the main factors that drives your students to succeed and do homework. As long as people see you're concerned, they trust you. Working with grown-ups doesn't mean that you shouldn't have fun, because the language acquisition process is difficult enough, so obviously we need something that can help us to relax. And a comfortable atmosphere where students have fun and play games can facilitate overcoming a fear of mistakes. As for teachers, entertaining activities can help to reveal fossilized errors and current struggles. So, taking students' answers into account, you may easily adapt a course program to revise something important. Also, doing exercises cannot be lessons objectives because you need to know and keep in mind what your students are going to acquire at the end of the lesson, and let your students know it too, because they will study with more excitement when they know exactly why they need it. By the way, we've prepared for you some ideas how you can vary your typical lesson plan and add more fun for your students. Fluent English speech might be confusing for a lot of people, especially for beginners, but they will put more efforts to understand speakers if you give them an interview with a favorite actor. Ask them to write down 5 questions from an interview or to create their own ones. Also, you should prepare some phrases that can cause difficulties during listening and conduct a gap filling. Also, matching exercises may help to understand new words better. And when your students understand the whole video in details, you should make it mute and conduct a role play. Usually students find memorizing vocabulary something difficult, and because of that there are different ways how you can conduct a vocabulary revision game, because the more times your students face familiar words, the faster they start using them in speaking. For example, Alice game, it's a good short break during a lesson where students have to explain words with their own vocabulary. Also, you can adopt a typical bingo show depending on the topic, where students cross out those words they guessed from your explanation. When it comes to speaking exercises, try to turn typical conversation questions into fun. Choose random photos on the internet and assign your students to create a story using a particular grammar tense. Popular quotes in English is a good way to start a debate club, where students have to agree or disagree with an author explaining their opinion. There are a few people who love reading, especially in a foreign language, so use short stories. Choose one and print it out, separating all paragraphs, and ask students to work in a team to understand the order of paragraphs and put all pieces together. A lot of people find writing exercises boring and dull because it's really hard to produce some ideas, especially in English. So you can change it. Give your students a situation and ask them to write an essay. However, each member of a team will be responsible only for one paragraph. At the end of the lesson, you will have fun reading the whole essay. As you see, ESL teaching contains of different details that you should know before your career starts, and also it's a benevolent call that allows you to help people, and taking care of your students makes them love the language. As we know, education doesn't finish as soon as class is dismissed, and ESL tutors do their best to grow responsibility in their students and to make all information reasonable and clear. Of course, you won't become a professional ESL teacher overnight. However, you can make the first step. Online TEFL TESOL course will help you to make your lesson plans more effective, to start teaching people of different ages, and to get familiar with learning approaches. Don't miss an opportunity to purchase an online TEFL TESOL course at a 50% discount. Check our homepage, TEFLTESOLcertification.com, to get a course program. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it valuable and instructive. And also don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments in the section below if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you the next time. Have a good day.